The Tour de France is built on the myth of attrition. 3 weeks, 21 stages, and over 2,000 miles of agonizing endurance to crown a single champion. But in 2026, a specific rule change at the very start of the race is set to create significant time gaps between the favorites and the rest of the field before they even finish their first afternoon of racing. This year's Grand Depart takes place in Barcelona, a city currently celebrating the centenary of Antoni Gaudí. For the first time since 1971, the race opens with a team time trial. But for the 2026 edition, the organizers have introduced a mutated version of that classic format. This specific combination of Barcelona's geography and a new timing loophole creates a tactical environment that rewards a very specific type of squad, one with the resources to protect a single leader at the expense of everyone else. To see how we got here, look at how the tour used to begin. For decades, the opening stage was a logistical necessity, a simple, unceremonious ride out of Paris or a nearby suburb to get the peloton moving. Eventually, organizers introduced the prologue, a short, individual time trial designed to hand a specialist an early yellow jersey before the climbers took over the race. Soon, cities figured out the commercial value of that opening weekend. Host municipalities now pay millions in fees, including a record 15 million euros for Barcelona, to transform a simple rollout into a high-stakes global broadcast. The 2026 Barcelona TTT is the endpoint of this commercial evolution, a stage that trades the traditional cohesion of a team effort for a calculated individualistic sprint to the line. In a traditional team time trial, 8 riders form a synchronized pace line, taking turns at the front to maximize aerodynamic efficiency. The clock doesn't stop for the first rider. A team's official time is recorded only when their 4th or 5th rider finishes. That rule enforces team discipline. A squad cannot abandon weaker members to secure a faster time. They are mathematically only as fast as their slowest essential rider. But in Barcelona, that logic is inverted. For the stage victory, the team's official time is determined by the first rider to cross the line. For the overall standings, every single rider receives their own individual time for the general classification. Watch this map onto the route. Teams spend the first 18 kilometers thundering along the high-speed Mediterranean coastal flats. On these flats, the strategy is simple. Teams will use their domestiques as disposable engines, burning them out at 55 kilometers an hour to keep the team leader shielded. Then the route hits Montjuic Hill, specifically a final 800-meter rise to the Olympic Stadium that climbs at a grueling 7% gradient. Because every rider is timed individually, the team leader has zero incentive to wait for their exhausted squad. They will launch an all-out sprint up the climb, accelerating away from the domestiques who just spent 18 kilometers protecting them. This rule creates a tactical necessity for leaders to drop their own teammates. They secure precious seconds over their rivals, while the support riders who are no longer shielded drop behind and bleed time. By design, this creates a state of asymmetric warfare within the peloton. A few super teams with massive budgets can stack their rosters with elite time trial specialists. Wildcard entries with limited resources cannot match that aerodynamic firepower on the flats. This structure favors established leaders like Tadej Pogacar. His UAE team will carry him to the base of Montjuic at maximum speed, allowing him to sprint for the line and bank early time before the race even leaves Catalonia. Direct rivals like Jonas Vingegaard will use the exact same strategy. The result is a 2-tier race where the favorites gain an immediate advantage that smaller teams are mathematically blocked from overcoming. This hands the wealthiest teams a massive lead and the yellow jersey before the race ever reaches a single mountain pass. This destroys internal team dynamics. Domestiques, who typically share the glory of a team time trial, are now guaranteed to lose their own standing in the overall race on the very first day. Their role has been stripped of its usual agency. They are now mere cannon fodder, instructed to ride themselves to exhaustion for 18 kilometers and then simply drop away. The organizers have sacrificed the traditional romanticism of teamwork for a cutthroat, made-for-TV spectacle. The 2026 Day 1 loophole doesn't just alter the standings. It has engineered a start so decisive that the winner of the 3-week Tour de France could effectively be determined in the first 20 minutes.